Alright, so today we're working on this Toastrack board, which should be complete with all the needed parts. With the Toastrack board here, we have another box with, I think, the heatsink with the name of the customer, so I won't show that. More labels. Yeah, it's open. So we got a heatsink, and I think that's it. And I'm not sure anymore if this is only a repair or a refurbishment. So we have to check that out. At least I can see that the voltage regulator cable has come loose, so we have to fix that. I will show you how to make sure the polarity is okay, and I will swap out the original 7805 as well for a new one, which must be a 2 ampere one, so not the 48K version, which is only a 1 ampere one. So let's get started. First, to make sure that you have the orientation correctly, let's grab a piece of paper. So a 7805 has 3 pins. Many people will know. So we have a input, a ground, and a 5-volt output. And the input can be somewhere between, I think, 7 and 40 volts or something. Maybe it's a bit lower, I'm not sure. But because it's a low dropout voltage regulator, it will get hotter when the voltage increases. So it's not good of a choice to actually apply 30 or 40 volts. So usual ZX PSU will output somewhere about 14 volts not loaded, and somewhere about 11 volts loaded, which is fine because we know that the input should be somewhere about 9 volts, but it's not a problem at all because it's been converted to 5 volts by this low dropout converter. So that's okay. So that's what we know. Now we're going to measure and just look it up, of course. So we set it to continuous mode with the beep. Always check. We know that the tip of the 5-volt input is actually the ground. That's because all the power supplies and ZX spectrums have a reverse polarity. So this is ground, which I'm touching here, which is the middle pin, as you can see, of the voltage regulator. But then the side pin here of the DC input is the actual 9-volt or 11-volt or something like that input. So I'm measuring that now, and I think it's the upper one. No, I'm mistaken, it's the bottom one. So the bottom one is actually the 5-volt, or sorry, the 9-volt input. I'm mistaken again. So this is 9-volt. I'm just writing it down small. Can easily remove that. And now we have the small cable, which has 3 wires and goes onto the regulator like this, but pins are completely flat, which makes it hard to actually connect the cable to it. Let me carefully bend it a bit. We're going to use another one, but it's good to know if this one actually works, or I could just use another one to begin with, because we're going to replace it anyway. But I think usually it's this way around. I'm not sure, and I have to check it because there's a small there are two small pins which don't matter at this moment, but let's just make sure it's the same way as with all other ZX Spectrum mainboards. So let's look it up, and we'll find out in a second how the cable is connected. And there are a couple of different versions, but let's just make it as simple as possible and use the same colors. Let me check. Do I have a board here? Yeah, okay. So the pins are upwards. Let me show you that. I think this will work. Yeah, so you can see the blue one is the left pin here, and the pins are aiming upwards. Now we can check it with ours. Yeah, it's the same. So let's get back to the work desk here. So the left one here is the blue one when we have the 2 small pins here upwards. So it should be connected this way. We're going to replace the 7805, but let's first get the cable connected. and I use some hot glue to make sure it won't come up again. So I'm grabbing my hot glue gun, which we'll need in a second. I will not heat it up because this one heats up very quickly, so it's okay to leave it for now. We need a cutter for the wires. I'm going to make myself easy. There are so many brands and types and models for such strippers, cable strippers. I'm using this one. This is a good quality one. I've had similar ones which look similar, but this is the best quality I've ever had. So that's easy. Now let's pre-trim the wires. These are a bit short still, so they get a bit longer. That's better. And then we're going to power it up in a second, but first let's wire up these cables and then wires, and then replace the 7805. Let me see if I have one here. I don't, but I have them plenty. Oh, this cabinet here has new ones, 78S05, 2 amperes. We're going to use one of those. Camera seems to be out of focus a bit. Let me check. We can fix that. That's almost good enough. I think I have a filter enabled, but anyway, just continue. These wires are a bit stiff nowadays. It might be because of the age. I think these wires are 40 years old and they become a bit stiff. Usually you would like flexible cables for these, but we'll make it work because we're going to glue them on the board in a second. And to get these holes empty, we might need a solder sucker or something. Let's try it this way first. Not from the top. I'm pushing them down, so let's see, can we grab them in any way? It's 1. It's 2. And it seems to be part of 3, but we have to empty the holes anyway, so let's grab the solder sucker. Alright. Those are empty. Okay, and so the left one, the blue one, is the voltage input, which is the 9-volt input. Which was the lowest one here. Start with that one. And of course the ground. It's not happy staying in there, so we have to force it a bit. And 5 volts, and then we'll check if the soldering is good enough, but I think we have to touch it again. Oh, no one come out again. It's because of the wires that are very stiff. I don't like it, but what can you do? So I think that's okay. All right. Make sure they're soldered on correctly. We're going to do one more measurement. Right, so this is ground. This is input. And this is the output, which goes, for example, to one of these logic chips. So that's checked, and it's all okay. So now let's screw on one of the new 7805 regulators. And of course, heat up the hot glue gun. And can't do any harm to just apply some thermal grease, just a tiny bit, to make a good thermal transfer between the voltage regulator and the heatsink. I'm using Arctic's, I think it's MX2, which I have laying here for a while, but never gets old. Alright. Now I think the yeah, it's moving with the screw, but I wanted to mount as tightly as I can. It's all metal, so it should not be any problem to over tie it or something. Right, should be okay. So we got a new 2 ampere low dropout voltage regulator. It's in there, and we can do our first test in a second. I don't have any diagnostic cartridge connected at the moment, but we'll do it in a second as well. And I hope my composite video converter will do its job this time. Let's just glue the cable to the board. I have to replace the capacitors later on, so I have to make sure the capacitor still can be get out easily. That won't be any problem. Alright, just a bit more on top so it will stay fine whatever happens to this cable. I think that's okay. Let's move this aside and let's connect it up to my composite video input, and I have a small TV here in case the converter does not do its job. My face is red. It's odd because it's quite light today and I've set some filters, so probably messes up the picture a bit. Let me see if I can lower that a bit. Yeah, that's better. Right, and let me see, I think I have a filter on the desk as well. Yeah, it's a sharpening filter, but maybe I should put it off. Yeah, it doesn't matter that much, it's okay. Alright, so hopefully will be cool down, I think, enough. Right, so let's grab the cables. I have a video here. I won't connect the audio yet, it's not important. And I think it's good to just grab the diagnostic cartridge anyway to make sure that we have all voltages when we power on. I think that's important to see what happens here with the 4 voltage LEDs, which all light up, and also the machine is powering up correctly. Now I should swap, of course. Oh, this is the correct button. Okay, the picture is okay, but it's not showing up okay on the converter. Let me see if I can change it a bit. There are a couple of reasons for this, by the way. For example, there is some audio distortion on the Toastrack board, which can be solved with detaching the audio, which is very visible on the converter. Let me see if we can sharpen the picture a bit. I'm not sure why it isn't sharp. Maybe I think the camera is dirty. I have to clean it up. And there's another problem, and that is that the TA2000 color encoded chip for composite video is missing two parts, which I have here. Let me grab them quickly. So these parts should have been on the TA2000 chip on any ZX Spectrum 128K board, but every board is just missing them. And it's in the original documentation of the chip that these should be added. They're not, so I have a small cabinet here with a small schematic in the back, as you can see, or schematic actually where the parts should be mounted on top of or on the bottom of the board to improve the picture. And it's this removes yellow and cyan ghosting on the color. So I think we'll improve the picture quite a bit. The board is completely working, so that's okay. So now we can do the standard refurbishment. It's a bit of a pity, of course, that it is working, because we like fixing boards here. Let me see if I can clean the camera. Just have to restart it, or maybe I can do it this way with my shirt here. I hope that's it. Is it better this way? It's slightly better, I think. Anyway, all right. So the board is working. We just have to refurbish it and put on the extra parts. So let's grab a piece of paper and write down what we are actually fixing on this board. Also, the ULA chip needs to get a heatsink, because these are very expensive ULA chips nowadays. We want them to keep working, of course. So first we change the 7 into 5. Next we're going to just add the two parts that I just mentioned to get a better picture. And I should find smaller inductors, but these are the ones I got at the moment. They're a bit big. It's not a big deal, but it's not the best thing to see, but it will work. Alright, let me do some bending work here. I feel like a plumber. All the bends. And I wonder if I can immediately see some improvement on the converter, because on the small TV here it's okay already, but we need to get a proper picture, of course. Alright, we can cut this at pin 8 right here, and I think we have, nowadays I get the ceramic ones here, because the SMD ones sometimes break when they're put on, so I'm only using the ceramic ones here. Just throw them in because I have plenty. They don't want to get in. Alright. So I've done this now on I think 5 or 10 boards or so. Added these parts, and it really improves the picture quite a lot. And we have to detach the audio as well to improve the picture even more. Let's see, I think we can do it this way. I'm choosing to do it on top because I'm not always sure if the case can fit these easily. Let me see how I can mount them the best way. I think I like it, but it's not perfect. Let me just bend it a bit differently. That's better. Let's turn the board a bit so I can more easily reach. Yeah, that's good enough. I think this is still quite nice. Yeah, it looks okay. This won't come off. And I think it looks quite decent. Do you think? Let me know in the comments if you think this is a good enough solution. So next is to, why is this chip twisted by the way? Next is to detach the audio. I have a document for that. If you Google on ZX Spectrum video fixes ByteDelight, you will get to a PDF. And in there is the best way to detach the audio on a Toastrack. You can see it here. This is a document. Let's zoom in a bit. So you can see exactly where you have to cut. It's an inductor that you have to cut the right leg of it off, and then reroute that leg to just one part above that with a small wire. So let's grab a wire, and that way you still have audio on the RF output, but it won't disturb the video output anymore, composite video output. So it's very easy, small fix. I think to the diode, am I not mistaken? Yeah, it's okay. To the diode here. So very small wire, and that's more than enough. So it's a very tiny wire, as you can see. Oh, I'm not showing you. It's a very tiny wire here that I'm making. I forgot to show you where I'm cutting, so I'm cutting there, as you can see in the photo that I just showed in the manual and document. All right. Ow, 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 ow. It's a short wire, so it gets hot quickly. Let's grab it and solder it on. It's one side, now the other side. Right. Okay, so that's it. It's a very small wire. This is all it is. All there is to it. Let's see if the video output improves, as I hope. Not any output at the moment, so why not? What am I doing wrong? Did I make a short somewhere? I don't think so, but let's put a die card on. Oh, we don't have. Oh, of course. Of course. I forgot to connect the bifold converter, which explains a lot. Now we should have picture. And that's a lot better, but we still don't have the white background. I think it's a lot better. Yeah, look at that. It's a difference of night and day, don't you think? So that solves two problems with the video output, and still we have audio on the antenna output if you like to use that. Right. That's a good improvement. So we added the inductor, let's call it inductor circuit, to the TEA 2000, and we disconnected. I can't write. audio from the video signal. And we actually rerouted that, but it's not very important. Alright, so the board is still working perfectly. The video is a lot better. This is I think the best you can get. I'm not sure why. I think it's a cable. Must be the cable. I think so. What is it doing? I still have a picture here, but it can be my converter. I still have to buy a good one, but this is just a cheap solution. But let me see if I can improve it. Maybe in this mode it's better. Alright, so boots up. No problem to see at this moment, so let's get on with it and get to the capacitors. And not forget to attach the heatsink again in a moment. Again, it's a pity that we don't have any defects, because we like defects, we like to solve them. Maybe next time. There's always more repairs. Right, so here we have the box full of capacitors and the mapper caps of every ZX Spectrum, Sinclair ZX Spectrum model, I should say. The insert models are different, but... Alright, let's first remove all the existing capacitors, and I like to check if it corresponds to the capacitor map here on the photo at the same time, so I'm sure that I'm not mistaken in the position and orientation of the capacitors later on. So that's okay, plus that's okay, so we can remove these ones. I always like to pre-solder the pins to make it easy to get them out, and it's better to do that when the capacitors are still in. Otherwise it will get very wobbly and they will fall through the board, you know. So let's just do that. And back in the days, manufacturers didn't always think of not to make the ground planes where the pins connect too big, because you cannot remove the or solder the pads again easily with a small soldering iron. Fortunately, this is I think a 75-watt iron, so it has enough power, but smaller irons, cheaper irons can struggle with that. Let's remove the reset cable for a bit. I will add some hot glue as well on those 2 points, those 2 wires later on, but to remove this reset capacitor, it's easy to remove the cable first. Let me double check if all the capacitors are the same type. As far as I can see, these are okay. This is an issue 6U motherboard, which is I think the most common one. It's a pity that I'm soldering, adding some solder and the silk screen that is actually very near the spots where I'm soldering. Oh, this is a diode. The silk screen is being moved. It's right on top of the soldering point. So when you're heating it up, you see the letters moving a bit sometimes, which is not really great for an original board, of course. But we just need to improve these boards. And many people still comment to these videos and say, if the capacitors are okay, why are you replacing them? Keep them in original shape. And I can get into that, but what I'm doing here is a refurbishment service, and people ask me to get the board in the best shape possible for upcoming decades. So that's what I do. I replace the capacitors with the best quality ones, which still look good. So this board will last for at least 30-40 years again, and that's what the customer asks me to do, and that's what I do. And if they don't want them to have the capacitors removed, the original ones, that's okay. I can leave them on. Sometimes I get some discount, but the only problem is that I cannot guarantee if the board will survive in the next years. Mostly Toastrack boards will be okay with the original capacitors, but 48K boards, very often have defects, faults, for example in the lower memory because of bad capacitors. So that's why I like to just replace them anyway. So, sorry guys if you don't like that, but that's what I do here. And you can choose, but this is what this customer wants. Let's remove all the remaining pins. It's hard to reach there, so we'll get there in a minute. I think I will open the holes at the same time so I won't forget which ones need to be opened. So for the reset wires, I wonder what the specified lifetime of capacitors is. Is it somewhere about like 25 years or so? I've never checked it myself, but I think it's just good to replace them. Oh, sorry. This is one of the spots with the extremely large ground planes. It really needs a lot of heat to get these out, and even get the holes open will be more even harder. So we'll check that in a second. It felt like putting a tooth. It's another ground plane. It's quite large. Still a pin in there, so let's get it out. Now it's completely open finally. So I have gotten through a lot of repairs for the last months, but I still have a couple, which I'm going to do for the next weeks. Extremely busy still, but I'm progressing quite quickly now. Right. Just open these up from the bottom. Right, let's see. It's still closed. Right. So the large ground plane here, which is right below the modulator, I'm not sure if I can get it pin out, and if I can get it open, we'll try. As soon as I touch it, it's getting to the bottom, to the top again. So I have to grab it from the top. I think. I thought I had the pin out already, but it's still in there. Maybe grab it with this. This heat transfer. It's always a struggle again, so it's really hard to open up that tiny hole there. Let's try it again on this side. Yes. So the small pin is out. Now let's see if we can open it up. Let's heat it up for a while. I could source some low melt solder, which must be removed after soldering because it gets brittle. You cannot use it to solder parts, just desolder parts. I can source some, but it's not really necessary because we're going to put in a new capacitor anyway. We can try some wick because there's a really huge blob on the top at the moment, so we have to clean it up anyway. But I will just put in a new capacitor later on, and then that problem is solved. Right, so these are gone, these are gone, this one is gone, these are gone, just a couple more in this corner. That's one. Let's see, what else? I think 5 more and then we're done. If you want to replace these capacitors yourself and you want to get the highest quality capacitors, is these ones here. These are VSA capacitors, which cost about €1 each. They're really expensive. If you want that, you can grab the capacitor replacement kits on ByteDelight.com or ZXpectrum.shop. I'm using the same capacitors which I sell on the web shop. And there's a manual with them with the capacitor map and more information in it to make it as easy as possible, but you still see you need to be careful. And the most important part is after you solder in the new capacitors, make sure that there are no bridges or something. It's the most important step, so just check it 2 or 3 times to make sure everything is okay and there's no short bridge or anything else shouldn't be there. And if you want, let me know how much you like the Toastrack boards. I like them a lot. I grew up with one. My first machine was a ZX Spectrum 48K rubber keyboard. Then I got a Toastrack with my second machine. Later on I got a Disciple disk interface with that, which was awesome. I still think it's one of the best add-ons I ever had. Opened up such a world of new IDs and more. And now we have the SD card interfaces like DivMC and of course DivID, but which is still interesting because you can do some things you cannot do with the DivMC. For example, play video, make videos and play videos with sound. Really interesting device, but there are some people making video playback utilities for DivID DivMC as well, so I have to dig into that, what the status is. I'm curious. I like that. I like to see what the best, what the things the Spectrum can do in nowadays. So many options still that have not been fully explored. So I've got quite a lot of ideas myself. But still have to find time, of course. Last week I ordered some new boards. For example, a revision of the Harlequin 128K, which is a 40-pin socket for the sound chip. And that is interesting because the AY 8912 chips cannot be obtained easily or at all anymore, because the Chinese offers are all scams, fake chips. Those don't work. And if you can find a working one, they often cost something like 25 or 30 pounds or euros at least. So we have to find alternatives, and there are some alternatives like the clones based around the microcontrollers from Atmel, the Atmega chips, or some other microcontrollers. And I think the best one that has made it so far is the one from Charlie Ingley from New Zealand, which I still have to test, and I'm going to do that as soon as I can, because I want to do a comparison of all kinds of AY chips. It is an original one, but I also want to test the file chips. I want to test the clones, several clones, and some other options, and I want to view them next to each other with the same stereo output and so. So we'll get into that as soon as I can, because it's finally time to do a good comparison. I've done some videos about it earlier on, but those weren't the best quality, so I will redo some and do some good quality recordings. Oh, that was bad. Let's have some solder on the board, so I have to make sure that will come off completely. Right. I think it's off. Just I'm hearing some sound, I think, from the modulator. What is it? What sound is that? Must be something in the modulator, I'm not sure. Ticking sound, but it's not solder or something. Right, we can get in the new capacitors. Let's start with the hard one on the top, which is a 100 microfarad one here. I think I have to bend the... no, the lights are okay. So let's get that one in. Have to use some extra solder and heat it up quite a lot again. Oh, maybe I will clean up the pads a bit with some IPA. First, let's get this lag in a bit. Please? Maybe it helps to say please. Okay, so it's in a bit now. Let's grab these absurd paper cotton swabs. I can't find them with plastic anymore. I don't want to buy them in plastic, but these paper ones, you can only use them for a minute or so, and you have to throw them away. So you have to be quite quick, because the paper cannot deal with any liquid that well. So some cleaning up, so it looks better, as much as I can. So most of the silk screen is still on here, but around the pads that I'm soldering, there's some damage to the silk screen. It's not too much, but still, it's a pity that the silk screen is that close to the actual pads. I think we got most of them. That must be it. Right, let's get this one in completely. To start with. Not touching anything, but it's still has problems of getting in completely. More heat. So that's it. That should be it. It's the first one. And the hardest one. Then we have to get a 2x1 microfarads. I bought a new ones, they're in a box behind me from Germany. More capacitors. Let's see, one to the right and one to the left. Keep a close eye to which pads you actually need, because some pads, I cannot zoom in at the moment, but some pads are, they seem to be for the legs of the capacitors. So this pad, for example, may look like the one, but it's actually the other one, and hence it's good to have pre-bent capacitors. Oh, you cannot see what I'm doing. Pre-bent capacitors, so you know that you shouldn't extend to the other pad because it won't fit that way. So that's one of the reasons we pre-bent the pins for these capacitor kits. I hope you didn't miss anything because the camera didn't pick it up. Right. Right. Then we need one more 100 microfarad here. Then to the right. Then a 22 to the top. So there should be a plus there as well, which there is. All right. Let's start with cutting these legs. I like to use this side cutter for that because it has a flat side, which makes it easy to cut most of the leg without keeping sticky ends. It looks good. Right, so that's one. Then we have to do the one on the top here, which is a 47 microfarad. I didn't bend these, why not? Why didn't do that? I don't know. So, I'm doing some eyeballing here. I think it should be okay. It is. All right. Then the reset one should be 1 microfarad. It is. And to the right, yes. If you're doing this for the first time, you can make a photo or several photos of the exact position of the capacitors and the orientations before getting the original ones out, for example. That's a good practice. It's just a shame, isn't it, if all the effort doesn't pay off, you know. It's good to make sure. I'm making a small mistake here. That's that I've forgotten to open up one of the holes here. Good enough. That's still closed. Now it's open. So I was actually trying to get it in the wrong pad, and we don't like that. Should be in the correct one. Right. Otherwise we get in trouble. The next one is also a 22. Right below the other one. Aimed to the bottom as well. So we're almost done. I think this is most of the work that is required except for the heatsink, which we will apply. Let's cut some more legs and try not to slip the board out of my hands again or drop something on it, because if you want to get mad, you're allowed to. Right, now for the 4.7, the only one on this board. Aim downwards, so there's a plus there. Yes. All right. And then two 47 ones, which we need to bend as well again. Let's see. Maybe, I think these are all the same bend, so I can just use a simple tool like this one. I made it myself once. I think that's okay. We'll do it for the next one. Because we need another one. I think these are all the same sizes. So it's a very simple tool. We just bend it here and one here, and then we have nicely bent pins. There's some other tools, so someone sent this to me, which does the same, of course. I think this one is magnetic. Yeah, there's a magnet in there. Put it on a whiteboard or something. All right, this one should go in here. Cozy. They're very close to each other. They're like that. These are twins. Opposite twins. One is down, one is up. All right, two more, I think. One is 22 microfarads again, aimed downwards. I can't see the plus sign anymore because there's some hot glue over there. Right, and whew, I have both windows open, so it's enough. I'm really careful with my health. All right, one here, the 100 microfarad, and I think we're done, but I have to check, of course. Wouldn't be the first time forgetting one. And most of these are quite important to get the board working stably, reliably, so let's not forget any of them. So I can just check the capacitor map. There should be one here, two here, one there, one there, one there. Then one reset here, these two here, these two here, up and down, yes. This one here, and this one here. I think those are all that should be in there. All right, so this box can go. I have another box, by the way. Let me just show you. So this is a box of for one of the phases. The next batch. I think I've made like 30 already of these. So these are this is about 70 left for the next weeks. And there's a lot of demand for them, so let's continue that, but later on. Right, so I'm going to do some cleanup again. Bit here, bit there. Still some factory flux remained, so not bothered too much, but right, I think that's good enough. The only thing I want to check is the soldering on the bottom of the board at the capacitors, so this one here can have a little drop extra. Check those two, yes, this one here and this one here is better, this one here is important. It's also on the ground plane. Those two are okay, that one is okay, maybe a bit more here. You cannot see it, or you can. Sorry. We replaced the DC socket as well because it's in bad shape. It's an original one and doesn't connect too well and looks quite oxidated, so can't do any harm to replace that as well. Alright. I think the rest is okay, maybe a bit here, but it's connected from the top on the board, so it's no problem. Those two are fine. I think we're there. Alright. I have to take this call, so we'll be back in a second. Alright, it's recording again. So we had to get down in a minute, and for a moment. Let's get the DC socket out and get a new one in. Right. It's almost clean enough. All right. Let's make some space first because it's getting a bit too dirty here, so we can reach everything easily. Now don't heat these DC sockets too much because they melt quite quickly. Quality is good, but they cannot stand heat too much. That's the only downside. Alright, I didn't clean the edge connector yet, so let's do that, but it didn't look that dirty, so hence I didn't bother too much. It is a bit dirty, not too bad. Alright, So that's okay. I think we're almost done. The heatsink should be on there. I can go grab my checklist to see if I'm not forgetting anything, but I can do it later while testing. I'm not testing it right now. But I think, with testing I mean I test all kinds of stuff like interface and more. But I think this board is done. We'll do a quick first test to see if it's still running. That's of course very important. Let's see what it does. Nothing again, because we were forgetting the 5 volts. Okay, I got a picture here, got a picture there, so it's running correctly. Nice. Right, so one of the last things is the heatsink. Nice. We got quite a lot of heat sinks here, so let's grab one. And the die of this ULA chip is just in the middle, so it's not important that the sides are not fully covered. But there are some bigger sizes. We don't need the soldering iron anymore. So I powered it down. Let's put some thermal compound on it, some thermal grease. Not too much, because it will get to the side, because I'm pushing on it in a moment. Don't like too much there. This is the way I mount them, and it's quite good. And with the solder on one in a plus case, it won't matter. So for a Toastrack, this is just perfectly fine. Putting it on this way, it will spread the heat, and this chip will last for 20-30 years or something. All right. Okay, so that's that. We don't have any sound. We can get sound. We just don't have stereo sound. Let's grab a ZXY interface so we can get some sound of it out of this. Stereo sound, I mean. We could get mono, but let's do some stereo. Last month I got this back box of 30 AY chips, original ones from USA. I had to use a forwarding service, which I used for the first time. It's called MyUS. Worked just perfectly. So this was my only chance of obtaining more AY chips, and I think I got the last ones worldwide. So it's a pity. What do you think? Should we play a game? What game should we play? Should we play Jetpack? Should we play R-Type? Should we play Bruce Lee or something like that? The only problem is I don't hear the sound, so the only thing I can do is... Oh, this is an older prototype interface. As you can see, the joystick is on the front. Let's do just a simple game and test it out. I need a plug. Yes. Let's see if everything is working. So a right angle plug, which is easy here. And then I think we should have sound. Alright. I'm hearing the sound. That's good. I thought I had to put the volume down on my speakers, so I will still put it down a bit, because you might hear it over the microphone. It can echo a bit. Let's first do a... Joystick is now enabled. As you can see, it's working. Let's do a quick test. I don't have a keyboard. That's important. A quick test if everything is working correctly now. But I think it is. Right, let's do a demo test. That works fine. Nice. So this Toastrack is fully working. What do you think, guys? Do you like this board or not? Oh, there goes the video again. I'm not sure what it is. It must be the converter. I think it's not the cable, it's just a converter. Anyway. Right, so that's okay. What else do we have here? We have some SD card test software that loads files from the SD card. As you can see, it's flashing a lot. What else do we have? Oh, we should put on the rainy chip. It will now rain. Let's see some rain. So that's one of the things we need to do. Put on a rainer. There's the rain. I think you see the rain already. I can see it on the display here. It's not perfect, so there's a lot of rain, as you can see. So we have to solve that, at least. Looks bad, doesn't it? We'll fix it in a second. Right, the music is awesome, and in stereo with the ZXAY, which will be available soon as well again. But as you know, the AY chips are on very short supply, so I need to move over to something like a Mega microcontroller, which I will do in the near future. So that will be available again with a AY clone, the best one I can find. First we have to get out the PAL chip here, and it's really crowded on the desk, but we can still manage, I think. We have to find a small wire, because we have to wire to the Z80 CPU. Let's get the manual. Alright, so this is the manual, and the only thing I need to know is the wire here. This is a Toastrack wiring, and the other one is a +2 wiring. So let's zoom in on the Toastrack wiring here, which will make it easier to actually do that. First we have to get it out. It's only 18 pins, so it's easy doable by hand. Reflow them with fresh leaded solder. And in my checklist there are some other things I need to check, like a specific resistor if it's present for ULA replacement chips later on, and some other stuff. We'll do it tomorrow. Planning on visiting a retro fair in Germany for ZX Spectrum in June. I just need to find myself another car first, because my car diesel isn't allowed in some zones there anymore, and I'm actively looking for another car to find the one that fits my budget and fits my wishes, because I'm very tall and I need to have a car that I can sit in easily, especially for longer trips. So we'll find one soon. I'm not afraid of that. And then I can make the trip, and I hope I can bring loads of stuff with me. I also need to find a payment system, a couple of weeks, but I think I've looked into that before, and I think it's just a couple of days before that's done. So I have plenty of time still. But I hope to be there, because as I said before, I would like to travel a bit more and visit fairs and other meetings more than I did in the past. So I hope I will be able to do that. I think I will get the chip out now. Let's see. Without getting any tricks. with it. Yeah, it's okay. So for all my German friends, I hope we'll see you there. Maybe some Dutch friends want to get over there as well. We'll see. I wanted to do more like having some Dutch fairs as well. Maybe I can find a place to plan an event myself. I will look into that as well, but it's still so busy with all the work. There's one pin not cooperating here. I think the hole is closed again, so let's open it up. It's one of those ground planes again, so it should be open now. And I didn't lift any track, so that's good. Let's put it in the socket. I will check with a magnifier before putting it in, otherwise you cannot see it anymore. Alright. Okay, let's clean it up. We still need to add the wire, but we'll do it in a second. Let's do this with the brush. It's more easy. Let's try it in a new way. Let's do it this way. I think that will work as well. Just a paper towel, but let's see if that works good enough. I think I prefer the this one here. Yeah, it's better. All right. So the unrainer is in. Just need to add one more wire, and then we're done with that. Then no more rain. Only sunshine. Would be cool, isn't it? Usually I like to use the thinnest wires for that. So I'm doubting a bit if I will do that or get a bigger one because it's only one wire. But I like to use the thin wires because they're most easy to apply on these boards. I dropped it. It's so tiny I dropped it. Let's grab it here. Right. The wire should go to the Z80. I like to put a point on the board there. Should go from here to the lowest pin on the unrainer chip. So from there, and these chips can be obtained, those are kits by the way, on ByteDelight or ZX in the shop as well. Just let's write it the way it's in the manual. All right. I'll put some glue on it. Maybe I used the hot glue because I have to power it on again anyway. So, and then solder in the reset wire on top. Old cable, but these cables are almost impossible to destroy, so it's okay. So most of the time one of those two wires is shorter than the other. It's because one is more near the side of the case than the other, so let's put it in the correct way. Alright, I think this one will heat up quickly because it was already used a while ago, so alright. No, it's still too cold. Have to wait for a sec. So, chip will be in a second. Let's see, I need to clean the socket for a bit. There's some IPA left. This is one. Not too much, but must be something on there, of course. That's one, that's two. Nope. So that one is done. Now this one as well, and I will use some flat surface on it to cool down quickly, make it look nice. I think one drop should be enough here. Maybe one drop over here. Yes. And that should be it. So we should be gotten rid of the raining effect, which we'll test in a second. And then it's time to play a small game. We already noticed that the M1 line of the CPU is working, because the die card didn't give an error because of that, so that's okay. And also the FMC interface works. So some of the IPA with the flux remainers got to the top of the chip when soldering, so I will clean it up a bit. That's done. This is the old one. I can send it to the customer. Maybe he likes to see the old parts. I think I threw away the 7805. Okay. Not sure if it's still here. I don't think so. Oh, it's still here. Okay. So let's put it on there as well, so we can send it back. Maybe he likes it. Right. That's all. I think this should work just fine. And let's try it out. And do a simple game. I'm not sure what. Maybe Bubble, because it's easy to finish those levels. Maybe I should do that. I just need to make some space. That's better. So, right. Let's write down that we also did the unrainer and the DC socket. And what else did we do? I think that was most of it. Of course, the capacitors, but it's a standard check on the document that I will send with this when I tested it all. We got some cable alignment here, and using the Toastrack heatsink. All right, let's see. It still works, yay! If you do this a lot, you're not doubting that much anymore. You just do. Alright, let's grab a game. I'm not sure if I can find Bubble easily. A lot of games here. Oh no, there's no Bubble. We have Bumjack, which is cool as well, but I forgot how to play that. It's a long time ago. Oh, I can't show you. Sorry guys. I loaded Bumjack. Let's see. Let's power off the iron. I don't think we have 128K sound here, but let's check it out. Ah, come on, get back. Kempston P and one player. This is a tiny screen. I forgot how to play this again. Do we have to collect these all? I have no idea how to play this. Oh, this way. You just have to hold. Can I have that? What is it? Can I have that? Yeah. Oh wow, nice. Oh no, they come back to life. I don't like that. Oh no, no, stop it! I'm dead. I haven't played this in ages. Why is there no bubble in here? I don't know. Can we find it? I don't know. Let me check if I can find it in my computer here, because I have no idea where that game is on the SD card. Let me check. Where did I put those games? Give me a second. Games. I think it's in here. Can we find it here? Bubble Trouble, Bubble. Details. It's under the B. Oh, it's a snapshot. Do not have a... Yeah, I do have some tab files for it. I have one here. It's under the B, but why can't I find it? I don't know. Maybe because the name is shortened. No, this shows one file name, so I'm not sure why I couldn't find it. Maybe not all files are shown here because no, this is not the correct. It's not the correct folder. Let me double check. Is it in here? Maybe. I don't think so. I think. How many files are in this folder? 635, and I think I just noticed that it's only showing 426 files. So the reason is that it's not listing all the files in this folder. Too bad. Okay, let's change that. Let's change that because of a card reader here. Why not? Let's quickly solve this problem. Is the game in here? Yeah, it is, but it's just not showing up on the DivMC. I think it's a limitation of the file browser that it was just showing, because I think the number of files can be more. But anyway, I found the game almost. Bubble guys. Bubble 2, Bubble 1, and let's just copy it to the root of the SD card, and now it's easily fine. Right. This should be easy now. There it is. Cracked. It's a crack. 9088. Oh, that didn't work. What could that have been? Okay, I don't know. What could that have been? I don't know. The default's probably still mounted. It doesn't work. Oh, too bad. Let's see if we can find another version then, maybe. I have several versions here. So maybe you can find another one. Just a second. I want to play this game. Come on. Even if I have to get a snapshot or something. We'll find it. So I have another folder with all the games in a separate folder, all the several versions. And in here I have 2 snapshots and 1 tab file. So we'll copy that complete folder to my SD card and hope one of those 3 will work. Let me check. Sound like Ferrari. Alright. Moment of truth. This is, by the way, if you're wondering what this menu is, this is just a simple basic menu that I make for testing all kinds of stuff. Oh, there goes the picture again. It will come back. Oh, what is this? This is definitely the converter. I'm not sure why it's showing up this badly. Let's just do it again. That's odd. It must be the converter only. This is weird. There's no reason for it doing this. So I really should get another converter. But the question is, which one? Alright. Anyway. Ah, come on. What is it doing? I really need to get a new converter. Now help me find a good converter, guys, because this is just crap. There it is. Finally. This one works. I don't want to play on my keyboard, but anyway. Yes. With good sound. I think I'm only hearing one channel. Yeah. The sound is not complete. Oh, there it is. I should get another converter. Let's play a bit of Bubble Bubble. Always lovely. What should I do again? Should I kill them? Oh yeah, I think so. Come on, come here, come here, come here, come over here. Oh, I'm falling. Yeah, I'm done. Next. It's such a good game. If you want to have some lovely hours of easy play, this is just one of those games you should have played. Because it's written very well, and it just has everything that Spectrum has to offer, like all the colors, all the music. And there's so many levels. It's ridiculous how many levels there are. And I've played this with a hack one time. I think I just kept playing. I don't know when it... Oh, I'm dead. I don't know when it should have ended. Anyway, so the machine is working perfectly fine. The customer will be happy with that. And I think that is it for this video. For the refurbishment and kind of repair, if you can count the cable with repair. Of course, we replaced the unrendered chip with the original PAL chip with a unrendered chip. We added the heatsink to the OLED chip, which is just a tad warm, but it's not much. Alright, so that's it. Let's power it off, because otherwise you might not be able to hear me. I hope you liked this video. I hope you will be back. I didn't just put these boxes in here. I didn't notice just now. This is just one stack of boxes to ship today or tomorrow. I hope you liked it. I hope you will be back for my next video. Let me know if you think anything of this video should be improved. If you have any suggestions for a composite video converter to HDMI, let me know, because this one works, but only just, and that's not the best thing, of course. I'd like to find another one, and it's no problem to invest in that, but I just don't know which one I should get, because I'm just showing it on OBS since one of my last videos, so there will be more. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye. Just a quick update, because I forgot to test the Unrainer, which I think you all might want to see if it works. Let me check quickly with Robocop here. It's 8. I'm not gonna play it, but alright, so we're almost loaded. The rain should be gone completely now, and usually you will already see some artifacts, but nothing to see here, so I think it's gone and should be okay. Yeah, there it is. No more raining. That's what the Unrainer chip does. So if you want one, get to zxspectrum.shop or ByteDelight.com. So see you later. Sorry.